Yes. All right. Zion Grady to Ohio State. Let's talk about it. Great Monday morning news. Zion Ziggy, whatever that stands for, or, maybe it's short for Zion, but it's actually longer. I don't know any idea. He has committed to Ohio State over Tennessee, Auburn, Florida State, and Miami. Another Alabama player comes and commits to Ohio State. Now, about a month or two ago, I heard a little rumor that Zion Ziggy Grady had kind of silently committed to Ohio State and that he just wanted to come back for his next visit. I'll be honest. When I saw that there was a second boom in this weekend, I just thought it was Brody Lennon. I thought Zion Ziggy Grady was going to work with Malik Autry a little bit more and maybe give them a little bit more time. But turns out the dude is ready to commit right away. I mean, it just sounds like Larry Johnson and LeAllen Clark. Man, guys, he doesn't get enough credit. This assistant that Larry Johnson has, LeAllen Clark, dude, he is legit. These guys are talking about LeAllen Clark as if he's just as good as Larry Johnson. Obviously, he's not, but I mean, him having these connections down south and being able to go down there and find these kids. We also have Jakeem Stewart, who's also being looked at a little bit more on him later on. However, I mean, just Alan Clark has been huge, and not just for this recruitment, but for other recruitments. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute, but let's talk about Zion Ziggy Grady for a minute. All right, 2025 class obviously comes from Enterprise, Alabama. He also plays basketball. We know Ohio State loves to go after those dual sport athletes. If they have three sports, even better. But plays basketball, 6'4", 235. Maybe a little bit smaller on the edge side, but he can always grow. He can always get a little bit bigger. And the way he plays, it doesn't really seem to affect him, as we'll look at the film here in a little bit. But 24/7 Composite has him as the 66th player nationally, the 6th edge, and the 6th player in Alabama. So they're really loving the number 6s with him. ESPN is actually the highest on him, which I don't know why ESPN's still making rankings, but I try to give the highest one on him, and so they are the highest one on him. They have him at 45th nationally, the number 7 edge, and the number 5 player in Alabama. And then on 3, they are the lowest on him. I don't know what's up with on 3. I think they just need to update their rankings because there's a lot of guys they have really low right now that just aren't they just aren't that low of players. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get an on 3 update here soon. But they have him as the 190th player, the 22nd edge in the class, and the 9th player in Alabama. I can guarantee you he is not the 9th player in Alabama. So on 3, we'll definitely be updating these rankings at some point. However, let's get a little bit to the analysis here, all right? So obviously, Zion Ziggy Grady, we're going to watch his film. We're going to see how good of a player he is. What is going to dominate the conversation here is that he's best friends or really close or whatever you want to call it with Malik Autry. Listen, even if we don't get Malik Autry with this is still huge. Zion Ziggy Grady is a very good player. Maybe he's not the 5-star talent that you're looking for in terms of like a game changer in the entire class, but he's still a very good talent and somebody who, after a year or two of developing, is going to come in and do a very good job at Ohio State. I could see him starting on the defensive line at the edge, or possibly even spreading out wide a little bit more and doing some of that stuff. Maybe a little bit of linebacker work. Obviously, I don't think Ohio State wants to use him there. They seem pretty dead set on putting him on the defensive line, but at the end of the day, he has that versatility, which you love guys with that kind of versatility. So, like I said, best friends with Malik Autry, that's huge. But even if we don't get Malik Autry, this is still a huge commitment all in itself. Zion Ziggy Grady is one of the best players in Alabama this year. And if nothing else, going into Alabama, getting one more player would just be huge and really, really helpful. All right, so let's look at the remaining board for the Ohio State defensive line that we're looking at here. All right, now obviously number 1, Malik Autry. Do I think this helps Ohio State get Malik Autry? Yes. Do I think it's a determining factor for why Malik Autry would come here? No. But one thing that is really huge about this is that Malik Autry has a lot of people in his life that are huge Auburn fans. And so for him to have Zion Ziggy Grady in his life, who is now a huge Ohio State guy, This is going to help him even more if he does decide to commit to Ohio State, because he's going to have somebody backing him up. Obviously parents are going to, whatever you decide is best for you. We're talking like, extended family, friends at his school, stuff like that. I mean, I forget who said it. Somebody said you literally hit a golf ball and hit the Auburn campus from the backyard of his house. I mean, he is just so close to Auburn there, and everybody in his life is so pro Auburn that it's going to be really, really difficult to have somebody flip like that to Ohio State. But if anything can help, it's a best friend like Zion Ziggy Grady who commits to Ohio State and then says, "Hey, buddy, we're going to build something special up here. Come up here. Maybe your uncle doesn't like it. Maybe your, sports coach doesn't like it or something like that, but you can come on over here." So it definitely helps. I don't think it's a determining factor, but it definitely helps. All right. Trajan Odom, he commits on the 28th. So what's that, 4 days from now? I don't even know what day the 28th is. That's a Friday. So he'll be committing on Friday. Definitely interested to see what's going to go on there. It's between Ohio State and Oregon. I think if Larry Johnson wants him, he'll commit. But I don't know. I mean, it just kind of depends on some of the stuff that's going on here. I want him. I certainly think he's a good enough player. It just kind of depends on how much Larry Johnson is prioritizing him. Jarquez Carter, another good player, defensive tackle type, playing on the interior. Marion Dye. I think that they're prioritizing Marion Dye a little bit more because he does have that versatility to play inside, outside. Now, he's a little bit bigger this season, so you're probably in high school going to see him playing a little bit more on the inside, but this is going to be a player that Mick can kind of form into what he wants him to be, right? His body structure is made in such a way that he really could be bigger and play on the inside, or he could be smaller and play out on the edge, and you just love that kind of versatility. And then also Justin Hill, he would be a jack position guy, but technically that would be kind of D-line, so I think we have to include him in that. But I mean, the real question is will this push Zahir Mathis out, right? Zahir Mathis went on a visit to Penn State. We're kind of a little bit curious what's going to go on there. No, I don't think this pushes him out. I would be more concerned if we start getting more commits. But even then, I've been told Ohio State would go as high as 7 defensive linemen commits, including Justin Hill. So I mean, it just depends. Does Zahir Mathis want to be in a class with 7 defensive linemen commits in it, or does he want to go someplace like Penn State where it could be a little bit of a smaller class, could work his way up a little bit more, could be one of the more top dog guys over there? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope Zahir Mathis stays. I'm certainly not rooting, for him to leave or anything like that. I think he's a good player. I think he brings a good amount to this Ohio State class and can certainly contribute to Ohio State someday on the field. But at the end of the day, we don't know. I mean, these kids just have to do, what they think is best for themselves. And at the end of the day, if he feels like Penn State is what's best for himself, feels like taking visits elsewhere is what's best for himself, maybe that's what it is. And if he decommits, he decommits. It's all right. We wish him nothing but the best, and hope that Larry has a backup plan to go someplace else. All right, let's look at the film a little bit here. I'm excited to see Zion Ziggy Grady with you all. Let me move some of my stuff around here so I can see it full screen. All right. So I think he's there on the edge. Yep, gets that. Nice. So you're going to be able to see when it's Zion Ziggy Grady just based off the first step. Just watch the first step on the defensive line. Even if they don't circle him, you're going to be able to see. All right, so he's on the interior there a little bit more. First step, hits the gap, chases down the quarterback. That quarterback doesn't have it anywhere near the athleticism he needs to go away from Ziggy there. Excellent work by him. All right, out on the edge. Look at that first step. Boom! Gets the power to just shove that guy back. All right, out wide. Here we go. Real edge rush here. Swim move. Look at the way he used his hands there. The swim move to get his hands around. You love to see that. Again, look at that first step, guys. That first step is going to be deadly. He's on the inside again. I don't think he'll play inside in college. I think that he is much more of an edge in college. I just don't think he has the weight to be able to do that. But here in high school, he definitely has the first step to have that power to go after guys. And so you're going to see him playing a little bit more on each side. There you go. Get that first step. Get in there. Oh, this is a block. Boom. Blew that up. Field goal block. You love to see that. All right, on the inside again. Or no, he was on the outside. I apologize. Hard to see that arrow. You can tell, like I said, you can tell it's him just based off the first step, if nothing else. It's a beautiful thing. There you go. Getting to the quarterback. I love the way he used his arms there. Watch his arms. Didn't really need him there. Just had good athleticism to get around the guy. Okay, here we go. Patient, was able to get by the blocker. All right. I think this is the one where he uses his arms well. Yeah, look at that. I mean, did you guys see how long his arms were there? I don't know if I can rewind on this one. I've never done it this way before until now. Let's see. I mean, like that guy has no chance right there. His arms are so long. He reaches him and the guy has no chance to do anything. I mean, watch him finish this out. He just gets right around him. Dude, like 74 is just sitting there like, what am I supposed to do? This guy reached me. I couldn't even put my hands on him. That's ridiculous. I need to know how long his arms are. Good first step again. Had the power to knock him back a little bit, and then had the speed to get around him, get to the ball carrier. Very nice. Very well done. I wasn't planning on watching all of this, but I'm just enjoying it so much. Yeah. All right, on the edge again. Let's see him get good first step, patient, snuffed it out, didn't fall for the running back. On the edge again. Here we go. Again, look at the arms. I don't think you could see it as well in that one, but the arms, just his ability to reach a guy. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Another field goal block. Man, I wonder how long it's been since Ohio State has had a field goal block. I can't remember the last one. All right, here on the edge. Yep. Again, I mean that dude just had no chance to be able to block him. When you can reach a guy like that, oh, and they just forgot to block him. Yeah, this is not the guy you want to forget to block. All right, on the edge. Oh, and he snuffed out the screen. Excellent. Now, the quarterback could have held that a second later, but I don't really blame him. The guy was coming at him so fast. And yeah, don't drop the ball with this kid on the field. All right. I think he's, yep. Good pass rushing ability. I mean, that first step is really what does it for him. The first step allows him to have that power to knock a guy back, or it allows him that speed to get around the tackle. I mean, that's huge. And the way he's able to hit the quarterback at full speed like that, that's huge. All right, I think that's enough. You guys let me know. I'm excited for Zion Ziggy Grady. I think he's going to be a stud in this class. Like I said, I mean, if he helps us get Malik Autry, that's awesome. But even if he doesn't, like, this guy's a stud. He's going to do really, really well. I love the way that his arms translate. Like I said, I need to look that up. If I had to guess, 33, 34 inches, maybe. That'd just be ridiculous if he was 34 inches. There's some guys that go to the NFL draft that don't have 34-inch arms. So, you know, maybe 32. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll try to check it out, and maybe if I do, I'll put it in the comments here before I post this, and so that way you guys can know. But yeah, like I said, just super excited. Zion Ziggy Grady, wonderful, wonderful addition to the class here. And even if we don't get Malik Autry, but let's hope we do. Oh, one thing I saw tonight, and I don't have a picture of it, I apologize. Go look at LeAllen Clark's Twitter. He tweeted 1-2, as in saying one of the two is here. I don't know. Is it Malik Autry? We'll see.